You are everyone. I'm Wally, and the rest of the listeners are Brennan, and we're roasting chips, yes.
Hello,
Hello.
welcome back.
It has
You
been.
said you said we couldn't do it, not you, Wally, the audience, the chip roasters out there. They said we couldn't do it. They said we couldn't do another podcast before the end of the year, and here we are in the
Here
final
we
month
are.
to prove them wrong.
We've been doing this thing for 4 years. Actually, it might even be
Oh.
to the day when we started doing the Star Wars Christmas special watch.
Ooh,
I
yeah.
think I think that was on the 6th, if I remember correctly, or at least that's when it came out. So,
What a
which
wild
is
time.
wild. I might sit down and watch. No, I'm not going to watch that at all this year. I've suffered through that once already.
Mm-hmm. I've
Um,
been through it a couple times, and I keep coming back. Why? I don't know. It's a miserable experience each time, but it's funny in theory. So, what can I
that
say?
it is. Um, So let's get to our Black Friday sale. Oh wait, we don't have merch. So never mind. There's nothing on sale from chip roasting.
Everything's on sale. All of our merch is 100% off.
It is just yeah, but it's all gone now. So
hmm hmm
that was our Black Friday sale was so
It is
successful.
it is 100% off and 100% gone. So
Exactly. So
that's our
if
Black
you
Friday
if you
special.
missed out, you missed out.
Yep.
And if you guys are thinking, man, when did they come out with merch? Should have been there. It's in the
Well,
last
now
episode.
my cat is underneath my desk trying to pull my keyboard down by the wires. So 1 second here.
Okay. I will try
Okay.
and fill the time. Oh, there you go.
She did pull down the mouse. It fell on her head and she ran out the office.
Well,
So,
cats
with
and
that
mice,
being
you know.
said, yep, that is, I think, the fifth time she's done that over the past few weeks here, and she keeps not learning. So,
Famously, Ahsoka loves mice. So that's just
yes,
a
yes.
huge aspect of canon Ahsoka. So
Yep. hmm
um So yeah, we this is our probably going to be our final episode of 2024.
Probably.
We will look back on the year that was what maybe a total of 10 podcasts, if that. And
Mhm.
but first,
How many podcast episodes have we done
it's
this
not
year?
many, Brennan. We have
It's
not
like
done that many.
five or something, I want to say.
Let's
Five,
see,
six, seven.
February. So one, two, three, four, five. Yeah, five.
Hey, look at that.
Look at
Wow.
that. So we started the year with episode 66.
Hey, chip roasters, get into the comments here and rank your top five episodes of the
Yeah,
podcast
because
this
this will be
year.
included. So this will be our sixth. You can rank your top five.
Perfect. Perfect.
I mean, we had some pretty good
Get in the
ones though. We
comments.
had
Tell us what our worst episode this year was.
We had the more
I'm not gonna
billion
read them.
dollars one this
Huh?
year, which seems like that was forever ago.
Wait, we had which one?
More billion dollars. That was the name of the episode.
That was this
That was
year?
this year,
Not a chance.
February 6th.
Wild.
Yeah. So we've missed it a lot this year, but it's because we've been busy.
Sure.
So first, we're gonna come at you with some news all the way back to October 22nd, because quite frankly, going back any further, we'll be here for hours. So
And I think that is when we had our last episode here. So I don't think there's a need to go further back than that.
our last episode, yeah, October 20th. There you go. I thought it was way
So
earlier than that. I thought it was like October 10th. So that goes to show how much I know.
mhm. I
First piece of news.
I keep us on track here, and that's why we never do anything.
That's why we have one. That's why I have 5 episodes in 12 months.
Okay, Soka, let's get you up here, girl. Come on up. Come join the podcast. There we go.
Special
There
guest
we go.
Ahsoka.
Okay. Have a podcast guest this episode.
There's
Everyone
lots
say
to say
hello to
about
my
skeleton
cat
crew.
Ahsoka. She's not very talkative, so for an audio medium, she's not going to be a great guest to have on here. But
Is
all
she?
you video watchers out there, say hi. Anyway, first piece of news here. Blade. You guys remember that movie? I think it released earlier this year. What? No, it didn't, because after the release date kept getting pushed off and off and off, now it's been delayed indefinitely. It no longer has any release date at all.
Nope, none. So if we go back, it was originally supposed to, according to an article from October 22nd, which is that's what this is relating it to. It was originally supposed to come out November 2023, and then it
Oh,
was
wow.
bumped to September 2024, and then November 2025, and now there's nothing. That's it.
Wow.
Not happening anymore.
That's crazy.
It was
That's
bumped.
crazy.
So it should have come out a year ago. Not even just this year, a year ago. And now it doesn't exist.
Yep.
Just like Ironheart.
Yep. Although Ironheart apparently is in the release slate for next year now. And we have an Ironheart trailer, which we haven't
It's true. That's true.
seen before,
Yeah.
ever. Except for the one leak that like truly leaked like 2 years ago or something.
Yeah, I think it was
I
like
wanna say.
Comic-Con 2021 or something like that.
Yeah.
They've had that thing done for years, and they're just like it's not real. The only thing they've shot were those scenes from the trailer.
Yeah, I am excited for next year because next year will be the ultimate year of are these shows real or are they not real?
Speaking of real and not real, Stephen Knight no longer writing the Star Wars Rey Skywalker film. The film will likely be delayed from its speculated 2026 release, which it has. It is no longer being released. That is a piece of news later on. It is no longer being released in December 2026. I believe that another Ice Age movie is being released instead.
Star Wars lost their ability to make movies somehow. They just forgot.
Yep. Nope. They can't make movies.
Yeah, the
Mandalorian shorter than 7 hours.
Yeah, right. They just know how to churn out series after series.
They're good, usually.
Movies. Yeah.
And then there's Book of Boba Fett, but we're not talking about that right now.
Yeah. All the best ones. Well, I mean, okay. Andor's obviously the best one. I don't consider it a Star Wars show, et cetera, We've been down
It's
that
kind of its own thing. Yeah, we've talked about that
before.
Yeah.
But yeah, the best Star Wars show, in my opinion, The Acolyte, which I absolutely love. That one gets canceled. That's like the only one. That's the only Star Wars show that they've formally decided to cancel. It drives me crazy.
Yeah, like it didn't just end. It just they're just like, oh, sorry, these 4 people on the internet did like it.
Yeah, it sucks. But it's like just make a Star Wars movie. You make so many shows.
Movie.
Just toss out some movies. And it's like they're so terrified of like destroying the brand now that all the backlash to 8 happened, all the backlash to 9 happened here, and it's like, but you guys keep making shows, so like just make a movie, please.
Simply just make
any movie.
Whatever idea you had for the Acolyte season 2, make it a movie. Just cut out a bunch of stuff, and you have a movie. It's just that simple.
Something like that.
Just that simple. Remember when the show used to have like some sort of like we'd go through Star Wars stuff, then we go to Marvel, then to DC. We'd abandon that. Well, now we're just going through our messages. Yeah. Which is why the next piece of news has nothing to do with Star Wars.
Pretty much.
Marvel and DC films releasing in 2026, the year that may or may not happen. I'm still 2024. It doesn't feel like a real year yet still. And it's almost over. So
you know what really doesn't feel like a real year? 2025.
Like, dude, for real. That's not a real year.
I feel like I just got used to 2024 and I'm like, what month is it now? December? That's not right.
I will enter my late 20s next year, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all. You're in your mid-20s still, Brennan. You will be in your mid-20s next year.
Yeah, I'm like crossing the threshold though. That's a weird thought.
Yeah, you will be closer to 30 than you will be 20.
Wow.
Yep. That was a soul-crushing piece of information.
Yeah, I will take a beat to process that as we look at these other movies here.
So the movies coming out in 26 are Avengers Doomsday, which is May 1st, 2026. Maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't. We'll find out. Supergirl.
It's going to get delayed. It's going to get delayed.
Probably. Supergirl, June 26, 2026. I think that'll probably happen.
I'm looking forward to that movie here.
Spider-Man 4, July 24th, 2026. That'll probably happen. It'll probably be really bad based on Sony's track record.
Could be good, could be bad. There's legitimately no way to tell.
There's no, because it's Sony. And then Batman 2, October 2nd, 2026. I feel like
we're looking forward to that one.
That's been delayed, or maybe they just didn't start writing it until like this year or something. I don't know. It feels like far away.
Yeah, no, that got delayed. That got delayed by a year because it was originally supposed to release the end of 2025.
Gotcha.
And then they decided to like it was in the process of being written or whatever, and the guy was like, "Hey, time out. I need some extra time."
Okay, gotcha.
So it got delayed by like a year, but now apparently executives are like very satisfied here. So
well, that's good. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Well, then, for some reason, this piece of news came Oh no, I think that's just the way Brennan saw this piece of news. Is that the upcoming 2025 films were sent to me next before the 2026 films.
Oh wait, no, yeah, these aren't necessarily 2025 films. These are just all of the upcoming
Oh,
MCU
I
films.
see.
So
Sorry, I
these are
can't read.
2025 through 2027.
Yeah, so upcoming MCU films. Then we'll just do 25 since I did the 26 already, and then we'll do 27. We'll do Captain America 4 February 14th, which I'm very excited for. That's coming a lot sooner.
Yeah, turn on that one. The last update I saw, they are still doing reshoots
Reshoots? Are you
for that movie.
serious?
This is like the
They have
sixth
two
or seventh
months.
time they've done reshoots for that movie. That movie's had its script changed so many times. It is either going to be an
It's gonna be a mess.
incredible movie or an absolute disaster of a movie, and I'm honestly thinking it'll be an absolute disaster of a movie, which sucks.
It
But
sucks for
like,
Anthony Mackie because this is his first like movie
yeah,
shot at being Cap, and
yeah,
it's just gonna
and
be complete and utter disaster.
yeah, it's like I don't believe this movie will convey one coherent vision at all. I feel like, given what I've seen, it's just going to be like a bunch of like action figures like fighting, and that'll be it, which is gonna suck. But hopefully, it's good. I'm hoping it's good. I'm hoping it's good. I honestly don't think it'll be good, which sucks because Captain America, like um Sam Wilson's Captain America deserves a good movie on the big screen. I just don't think
Agreed.
he's gonna get one. Although it does have Isaiah Bradley, and I'm excited to see like uh Isaiah Bradley on the big screen
Yeah,
because like his role or like that story arc in Captain America and the Winter Soldier. No, sorry, the Falcon and the Winter
Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Yeah.
Soldier. I hate how they named all that
Yep.
stuff. But like that was one of my favorite arcs of that show. So
Yep. I need to go back and rewatch that before I see Cap 4 because it's been a while and I don't remember it.
fair
Um,
enough.
but yeah, I feel like they're doing what's his name? Anthony Mackie a disservice for real. And I have a feeling that if this movie does bad, they're gonna learn the wrong lesson again. That
Yeah,
they've
it's
was it Marvel who learned that wrong lesson or was it Star Wars? I can't remember which. I think it was Star Wars.
everything has learned the wrong lesson, except
Disney.
for DC for some reason.
Yeah, except for DC. Yeah,
DC's been doing a lot of stuff right recently, which
yeah, it's wild.
just based on like the culture I spent a lot of my early adult years in is like mind-boggling.
So yeah, we'll see.
Mhm.
The trailers look good. We just if they're still doing reshoots 2 months before the movie, I'm like worried.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The Thunderbolts, May 2nd, 2025, which I'm very excited for that movie. It
Same.
looks super good.
It's a team up movie, has a great cast of characters, some great actors. Trailer looks good. They spent time on it. There's like not a lot of reshoots that like need to take place. I mean, like a lot of movies just have like standard reshoots. That's fine.
Sure.
When you're doing reshoots like 7 or 8 times, that's insane. But like the
A little.
Thunderbolt is, it's very minimal stuff. I think I saw that they have a lot of practical effects. Maybe I'm confusing that with something else.
Hmm.
But I'm at least more optimistic for that movie.
Yeah. And like
Except
we've had
for
like time with these characters a little bit, so like
yeah,
and it's
yeah.
been a while since we've seen some of them, the Red Guardian specifically.
Mm,
And Yelena.
yeah.
The last time we saw her
Hawkeye?
was it Hawkeye or what came first? Was it Hawkeye or Black Widow? I can't remember. I think it was Hawkeye.
Yeah, Hawkeye came after Black
Okay.
Widow for sure here, but I don't remember if she was in anything else or
I
not.
don't think she in a was she in the end credit scene for something?
It's so hard to keep track.
I don't
It's
know.
so
There's so
impossibly
much
hard to
going
keep
on.
track.
And
Um,
then a lot of and then
but
just
oh, sorry, go. Yeah.
oh I was just say we haven't seen not Ross, what's his name? The fake Captain America guy.
Oh, U.S. agent. I don't remember what his
US
actual name
agent. Yeah,
is, but
we haven't
that's like
seen
his
him since
code name.
2021. We haven't seen what's her name? The Ghost since 2020
Yeah,
since 2019.
yeah.
So yeah,
Like
it's been a hot minute since we've seen a lot of these, and I'm excited to see where it goes.
yeah. What my fear is that they're gonna make it too much of like a homework assignment to be able to watch the movie because it's like, oh, you will have to know details about these characters here. I'm hoping that they don't.
I
I'm
think they're
hoping
all
it's very
movies.
relaxed, and as long as you have like a general idea of who they are, you'll
Yeah.
be fine. But
It's all
I'm a little scared that they're gonna try to tie it into like their backstories a little too heavily, and
yeah.
it's gonna make for a confusing watch experience.
I think all these have
That's my only
originated.
concern. Huh?
Yeah, no, that's valid. But I think all of them have originated in movies, and only one has appeared in a TV show. And it was not like super important to their character
Yeah,
or anything, I don't
yeah.
think.
It's just like even if they are in movies, it's like that's all
Oh, nope.
well and good, but
Nope.
like
US
it's just
Agent was not in a movie.
oh yeah, fair enough. It's so like that's a lot of movies to like see and remember about, especially now that
Yeah.
there's been such this large gap of time. This is so far like
Oh, shit.
after that first story arc.
Yeah. Yep. But we'll see. I have some faith in that one, believe it or not.
Mhm.
And then 2027, since Avengers Doomsday 26, Spider-Man 4 26, Avengers Secret Wars May 7th, 2027. That one, if we're saying Doomsday is gonna get delayed, that one's for sure getting delayed.
Oh yeah.
So and then
The other
oh,
one
I
you
forgot
skipped
Fantastic
over.
Four.
Yeah.
Fantastic Four, July 25th, 2025.
Yep. So we got three movies queued up for 2025.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know what to expect from Fantastic Four, to be completely honest with you.
Now they do have a lot of like practical sets, practical effects.
Yep.
It takes place in like the multiverse they've confirmed.
Yeah.
It's
In the
it's
50s,
not
right?
Earth the 616. I hate that they call it Earth 616. We've been over
Yeah.
that. But yeah, it's so that one looks arguably, I would say, the most promising out of all of them so far. I mean, we don't have a trailer or anything for that yet, so time will tell here.
Right. Yeah, we'll
But
see.
I'm looking forward to that one. I don't know if you saw, I don't know if I sent it later in news or not,
Probably.
but there were like cave explorers that were just going through exploring as usual, and they just stumbled across part of the Fantastic Four set that had been built in a cave.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
like they just got a bunch of like behind the scenes like photos and stuff because it was a set that had been like abandoned. It looked like there was a lot of stuff that was left behind.
We should
So
we should pressure Hollywood about not polluting the environment. Like,
yeah,
Jesus,
yeah,
don't leave your shit behind. That's like not
yeah.
good for that. Even if it's in a hole, you know,
Mhm. Mhm. But yeah, like
some
I
creature's gonna eat it.
like seeing like practical stuff
Yeah.
in movies here. So
Yep. Agreed.
pretty cool
Yeah,
that we're
I've
seeing
actually even
movies.
heard that they're gonna actually set the Human Torch's actor on fire.
Yeah. Um, yeah. I don't know if you remember seeing all those memes when like the cast was like first announced and like they were doing interviews and was like like, hey, how are you preparing for the role? And after playing the Human Torch, like, oh yeah, I just like stare at fire and set myself on fire and everything. And the guy who plays like the thing was like, yeah, I just like stare at rocks all day. And like it was so funny. I'm like, okay, that gives me hope too. Like when you have a cast that can actually be like f- funny about all of their roles, that's great. That's great.
I'm assuming the Invincible Woman stares at nothing.
Yeah.
Get a really good
Um,
sense of what nothing is, what the air feels like.
yeah. So
Um,
with all these look promising. I'm a little
yeah,
scared going into like Doomsday and Secret Wars here because I know that there was talk of like, oh, Shang-Chi 2 being an important movie for this arc and like, oh, Doctor Strange 3 was going to be an important movie here. And they're just like skipping over those uh completely here. So for
yeah.
movies like Doomsday and Secret Wars, I don't know if they'll have done enough build up for all of that to make them like impactful, to make them land. I have no idea who the main players are. And like I feel for movies with
It's
that,
me
like
and
movies
you.
with Infinity War and Endgame, you knew who all the big players would be here.
Right.
And here I no idea. I don't know if Shang-Chi will be in there. I don't know if Kate Bishop uh
Kate the Bishop.
will be in there. Um, but yeah,
And then there's been
hopefully,
talks of like a Young Avengers movie, apparently.
yeah.
Also, I don't know, dude. There's like so much going on that they haven't
I
told us.
saw,
I don't know.
yeah, I saw a rumor, and like there are a lot of rumors that always bring up here, but one
Yeah.
that seemed kind of credible was that they had talked about plans for a Young Avengers movie previously, but they had converted those into a
A show, I
television
think.
show
Yeah.
instead, allegedly because of the poor performance and reception of the Marvels, which I'm putting in air quotes here because it really didn't do bad, especially compared to like Marvel's other films. There was just, the backlash for the reasons there are always
The, the
backlash.
backlash for people who didn't see the movie.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
a great
So,
movie.
yeah, but they were like, we want to shift away from movie and go to series instead, which I think
That's fine.
is better for that anyway, because a lot of the characters were introduced in series and stuff. So I do feel like that'll be a better format. Hope it gets made. I I think that they had said they were gonna steer away from calling it Young Avengers and call it like Champions or something instead.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Because even though it's a completely different team, a lot of people online were mad about that. But who cares? Who cares what those comic book nerds think?
And it's so funny that like executives do that all the time because they're like, hey, here's this great premise that fans will love. Do you know what they'll love even more if we take a completely unrelated name and slap it on this group that they'll recognize? Because they've done it so many times. I remember when Young Justice was first coming out, it got a ton of backlash because they weren't planning on calling it Young Justice because there's another comic book team called that.
Yeah.
And the executives were like, let's call it this for like name recognition. So then when comic book fans saw it was this unrelated team being called the Young Justice, they got mad because they were like, that's not the Young Justice team. Which is just really funny here that they just keep making that same mistake over and over and over and over, but they'll never learn.
What did passionate fans know? Clearly it's the people who run these multi-billion-dollar companies who know best.
Clearly they're the real experts here.
Next piece of news.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting piece of news. I didn't know this movie was being made. Spider-Man Noir.
Yes. We got behind the scenes
set video. And dude, it looks awesome.
Yeah.
Do we know who's playing? Is it Nicolas Cage doing? It is. Okay, because he was the voice of him in the Spider-Verse, correct?
Exactly, yeah.
So, dude.
That's going to be in like that is either going to be like so good it's just like objectively good, or like so bad it becomes one of those like instant cult classics that like true diehard fans will visit like years and years and years from now.
Oh yeah, for sure. Nicolas Cage is an interesting person for that reason because like I mean, he just will play. He plays like the most unhinged characters. I talked about earlier in the year. I went and saw Longlegs.
Oh yes,
and he was fucking weird as shit in that movie.
But
then he'll do National Treasure, and then like he's got this other weird movie. What thing is about the bees or whatever it's called, the Beekeeper maybe.
I don't think he was in
another horror movie, or I'm thinking of something. The Wicker Man. That's what I'm thinking of.
And then he was also in a Dream Scenario, which I think came out late last year.
Yeah. So like he'll do everything and anything. So I actually have faith in this movie. He had a fairly good track record, I think.
Yeah. I mean, like, and our talk of Nicolas Cage was all the way back to I think like the third episode we ever did of this podcast. Where we ranked all of the Community episodes. Yep. I know we talked about that episode with Abed doing his Nicolas Cage impression.
Yep. So I'm optimistic about this one. Though I'm sure Sony will find a way to screw it up. But dude, the cars in it, they perfect. Just if it comes out in black and white, I don't even care how bad it is at that point.
I want it to be all in black and white except for that one like Rubik's Cube that Spider Noir was given in the Spider-Verse movie.
Yes.
I don't know if it's for sure the same character and they're trying to connect it or whatever here, but that would just be a fun Easter egg regardless.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So Disney released a little slate of projects as well for Marvel in particular. Again, we're bouncing all over the place. We don't know anything. January 25th, 2025, which I don't know if I've seen confirmed in a while because it's coming up on a month from now. Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man supposedly coming out.
I did see that it was confirmed for some point next year. I don't remember what that final date ended up being, but it is for sure 100% if it exists coming out
So it looks like January 29th is the actual date that is coming out according to the internet, according to the Disney. So that'll be exciting. It looks like Charlie Cox is going to play Matt Murdock in the show.
Yeah, that was like announced like forever ago.
That's right. I remember that now.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then no update for years. Like I don't know if that's still happening, if that's like old news, if it got reconfirmed at any time, or if we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah. So on Disney's website, January 29th, 2025 on Disney Plus. So January should be a pretty busy month for Marvel. I'm very excited about. Oh, I hate the animation. Oh God, I hate the animation.
Yeah,
it's stupid. Oh no, it's stupid.
It looked so good in the original pitch and concept art and everything, and then they just like changed it.
They said if it's not 3D, it's not for me. And then the 6th of August, 2025, Eyes of Wakanda. October 2025, we'll have Marvel Zombies and Wonder Man, December 2025, which I don't think I've seen anything more about. As far as I can remember,
there was
I remember a
little
casting
snippet of a trailer that.
Oh, that's right. You're right.
That came out.
Right in that big trailer they released around, was it Halloween?
Yes, something like that.
Which we'll probably get to here in a little bit. But
keep talking for just a moment here. I'm going to kick a certain Ahsoka out of my room.
Okay.
Really quick, and I will be right back in just a moment.
Yes. But nope, he's gone. All right. Well, I think there's another animated thing coming out. Oh, What If season 3 is coming out? I think this month. You know what? Got to be honest, I don't really know. I still never watched season 2 of it. I'm basically at this point just talking, so I don't have to edit the podcast.
Yippee!
If I have to edit the podcast.
I'm glad you could save yourself some work there. But yes, What If season 3 is releasing the end of this year.
I have not watched season 2.
That's fine.
Yeah, you had such a raving review of it. I was like, let me never watch it. It's still on my watch next on Disney Plus, and I'm just like, no, actually, I will not. In fact, I keep jumping around a little bit. Fantastic Beasts franchise will officially no longer be there. They are finished, finito, done.
Which is insane. It's so wild that like Harry Potter had such a cultural impact, and then like
it had a cultural impact in a different way.
And then it just all dried up basically. And the fact that like the next like book series are there books it's based on? Or is it just doing movies?
No, I think it's just movies.
But yeah, they had like a 5-movie plan. They got 3 into it and then just gave up. But they're also doing a new Harry Potter
show, right?
Series,
yeah,
which is supposed to start filming like in a couple months.
Isn't it just like a rehash of the books?
Yeah, they're just doing the original books, but
no.
Again,
it's not going to do well. This is going to get canceled fast.
Yeah,
because like it's something that the student, especially Disney's really good at doing this, and that's not a good thing that they're good at it. They're trying to capitalize on nostalgia by creating something new again when people just want to watch the stuff that they used to watch.
Yeah, like
it's like, here's a new Lion King, dude. We didn't want this.
Yeah,
here's another Cinderella. No, we didn't want this.
Yeah, like it'll make a lot of money. It'll gather a lot of attention immediately, but then like 5 to 10 years from now, everyone's just going to be watching the original one still, and nobody's going to be watching the remake.
No. Yeah, I don't know. The only thing I'll say is Fantastic Beasts. They will continue to live on. Like that's the kind of the idea of it at the Universal Park.
Yeah,
because they're opening up that new park down there, and they're having a Fantastic Beasts land. So
yeah, and
people like it, they'll go do that. They'll watch the movies, all that kind of stuff.
Fantastic Beasts, if they had done that well, could have continued to like live on just like Harry Potter.
Yep.
But they just didn't do it well.
Yep.
Probably in part because they gave J.K. Rowling too much control.
Yep.
Over it. So
I hope
it'll be like an incomplete series, which is just, a little odd, but
I hope when she kicks the bucket, her family's just like, hey, everyone have at it. Because and I've said this before, much like the Star Wars universe, the Harry Potter universe is just like you could do so much with it. And
Yeah,
because it's all controlled by this one person right now, no one does anything with it.
yeah, yeah.
But like it's
You're
such a
you're absolutely right.
rich and like such a rich um just like story that you could like pull from. You could go into the history of it, you could go
Mhm.
into the future of it, you could do other things that are happening at the same time as Harry Potter, like the original series in other
Yeah.
parts of the world. It's just like it's so fascinating and it's just like all controlled by this one person who kind of sucks.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, it is what it is. But I don't know, I'm not a big Harry Potter person. So
Yeah.
Mission Impossible
Right.
8
Yes.
trailer released Monday the 11th of November. I didn't see it. I've actually never seen an Mission Impossible movie.
I love the movie so much. And like it was wild because when I was growing up, like one show my dad always used to love to watch. That was like the first like non-kid show that I ever watched was the original
Oh yeah.
Mission Impossible series
Yeah.
from the 60s.
Hmm.
So like over a course of several years, my dad and I ended up like watching all of the episodes.
Right.
And then there was like the series from like 88 and 89 that we watched as well. Loved those. And then my dad had seen like the first Mission Impossible movie at some point. So like we just started to watch those. And the first one's pretty good. Two and three from my memory, mm, not so much here. But then with four, they like struck gold with that one.
Yeah.
Five was fantastic. Six was fantastic. S- Seven came out a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Not a couple of years ago, like last year, I
It was
think.
it was not that long ago.
Yeah, but yeah, it was fantastic. And now they're making eight. I'm like, I cannot believe that like Mission Impossible as a brand has been around since the 60s and like gone through so many like
Yeah.
remakes and reboots, and it's still going like very strong.
It's
Like that
hard.
is wild.
It's hard to make a good series out of something.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
hard to make a good movie out of something. It's hard to make two good movies out of something. But when
Yeah.
you're 8 movies deep and then you're
Mhm.
still getting praise on seven,
Yeah.
you're doing something well.
Yeah, and a lot of it is just a testament to Tom Cruise as an actor. Like I've
Yeah.
seen so many like Tom Cruise movies now, and like like
Oh yeah.
he is a gift to like acting and movies like from the universe. As like as a person who he is as a person, maybe not as good. Um, as an actor, phenomenal.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you ever seen the tiny Tom Cruise bit on Family Guy?
No.
You should look that up. It's pretty funny.
Okay.
Him and
Okay.
Stewie will like go at it sometimes. I'm pretty sure they've
Okay.
had a full on fight. But no, yeah, I've not seen many Tom Cruise movies. I mean, but the ones I've seen are super good. I mean, the Top Gun movies,
Oh yeah.
fantastic.
Uh, Top Gun is actually one of the like few like big Tom Cruise movies that I've still not seen.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. Mhm.
That's that's a great movie. And then two was really good too. And
Oh
then
yeah, yeah, yep.
Days of
Heard good things
Thunder
about
is
that.
another. I think it was Days. Yeah, Days of Thunder is a NASCAR movie that came out in the '90s. So it was a really good movie too. But that's just NASCAR family. So um, but yeah. So Mission Impossible. Did you see the new trailer?
Yes, yes.
Good.
New
Prepared.
trailer
Excited.
uh looks good. The way they're marketing it is like they're like this is like the final installment in the Mission Impossible
Yeah. Okay.
the movie franchise, and they're doing that like while Tom Cruise at the same time is saying like I want to keep making as many of these as possible. So we will see, we will find out. Like all the stunts he does in those movies, like once you notice it, because it's like there's always one stunt in every movie that's like the stunt of the movie where like he does all of his own stunts for
Yeah.
all of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
There's always one he just goes all out, and like the one for the last movie was he like drives a motorcycle off the edge of a mountain and then like parachutes off. He like drives the motorcycle off, jumps off the motorcycle, and then he parachutes down. And it was such an insane stunt. And like just the fact that he did all that by himself. And the one before that, he was like on the edge of an airplane, like
Yeah. That
super
one
high
I've
in the
seen.
air.
Yeah.
he was climbing up a building in one, and for like this next one, he's like I don't remember what it is, but like it's like one of those like uh wooden like biplanes or whatever. I think he's gonna like flying it upside down and like hanging out of it like upside down or whatever. And
Mm.
it's like the lengths he'll go to like just do all of these. It's like he's just doing the movies to like do all of his own stunts. I'm pretty sure that's what he loves doing. Um, and I think I saw at one point that like he was like, if we continue making these, which I hope we do, I want one of them to like be in space so I can do
That's
like
right. I
main
remember him
stunts
saying something about
in
that.
space. I was like, that would just I I can't even imagine that. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to eight, even though it is funny that like eight was originally supposed to be called uh Dead Reckoning Part Two
Uh-huh.
because seven was called Dead Reckoning Part One.
Uh-huh.
But like after they released it, they were like, we don't want it to do the part one part two now. So they recalled all the DVDs that like they had sent to stores and they removed the part one and then they resent them back out and now it's called like the final reckoning instead.
Gotcha.
Um, but yeah, I am looking forward to that.
Nice. Yeah. Dude, he is 62 years old.
Yeah,
Still doing this shit. That's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
That is crazy. Wow, that's awesome. Next piece of news, which I completely skipped for some reason on my scrolling. It was a sneak peek at the Universal Monsters ride and some of the
Yes.
animatronics that they're going to have. And oh my god, Disney,
Those
what are you doing?
those animatronics, holy crap. I
They're
watched that
so
video and I
good.
was like, there's no way.
Especially that Frankenstein one. That Frankenstein one looks so freaking real.
Hmm,
Like it's
hmm,
nuts how good they
hmm,
look, dude. Oh,
hmm.
and then Disney's just doing nothing. They're doing nothing. And Universal's got this. Universal's won the theme park
Yeah.
war. They've won this one. They've won this
Mhm.
round. And
Yeah.
probably many more for many years to come because they have this and they have the,
Oh.
the Donkey Kong ride that's coming, which is going to be epic. Because I remember seeing the plans that got leaked a couple years ago when they were submitting a patent.
Ooh. Oh,
Dude,
cool.
well, I guess it can't be leaked if it's patent. Patent's public.
Oh, okay. Well,
But
sure.
jumping back to Marvel Studios TV.
Of course, of course.
So, what if season 3 officially comes out December 22nd?
There we go.
Daredevil Born Again May March 4th. Don't believe it, but whatever.
I'm
Ironheart
I'm
June
looking
20.
forward to
Oh
that show.
yeah,
I'm looking forward to
absolutely,
Daredevil,
dude.
especially since
And
the
the
trailer.
trailers,
I I think we talked about that
the
last episode,
trailers,
but it looks phenomenal.
so good, dude.
If um
Oh no, this is the trailer that you were talking about. This we never
oh
didn't
yeah,
talk about this last time. Yeah.
yeah,
So
that
Disney
is it.
released like a
Um
trailer of stuff that's coming next year for
yeah,
Marvel.
like yeah, all of their stuff. Just little snippets. But with Daredevil, my brother had never seen Daredevil at all. So like, hey, we're gonna sit
Oh wow,
down, we're gonna watch this.
I need
So
to rewatch
so
that show.
we were absolutely like tearing through it until we got to season two, and then it got a lot slower because I forgot just how bad season two of Daredevil was. Like it
Yeah.
starts off great, and the last couple episodes, you're like, what is happening? And now we got to get through the Defenders, which is better than the end of Daredevil season two
I like the
from my memory
Defenders. I
here.
watched that in a
And
night.
huh? Oh
I
wow.
watched the Defenders in a night. I remember it was the middle of the pandemic. I had nothing to do the next day, so because it's the pandemic.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think I started it at like 8 o'clock at night, and I was up until like 5 in the morning watching it.
Oh wow.
Dude, it was so good.
Yeah.
I remember liking it,
Yeah,
but I was also
like
like barely awake when I watched
I
it.
I am looking forward to seeing that again here. It's just it's so difficult to come off of Daredevil season two and want to
Yeah,
dive into the next thing that it was all setting up. But once we watch that, we're gonna see season three, which I
yeah.
love,
Season
and I'm
three's
hoping
phenomenal.
it'll be like just in time for
Oh yeah,
Daredevil Born Again here because it'll
yeah.
be great.
I should I
There.
should get I should get watching that then. Get on watching it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I've been
And
looking for a show, so there you go.
hey, yeah, perfect. And there was an update that I saw. I don't remember if I sent it to you or not, but
If you did, I'll skip it later.
one of the actors in Daredevil and Daredevil Born Again confirmed that Daredevil Born Again takes place 5 years after season 3.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
So if it isn't in like the MCU, I'm wondering if like that 5 years is like the blip, and they're just
Oh yeah.
and we're gonna see what happened there. I can't say for sure if that's what's happening or not, but just the fact that like they specified it's like 5 years afterwards. I'm wondering if that'll impact it at all, or if
So
they're just gonna kind of try to largely ignore that.
so hold on. So let's see. The two things the Kingpin has been in so far, actually, the two things Kingpin's been in, and the one thing Daredevil's been in have been post blip.
Yes.
If I remember correctly,
Wait. No, because the stuff, well, yeah, there were flashback scenes in Echo that took place prior
yeah,
to the blip
right.
that they were both in.
But young, though, young,
Yes.
um, Echo, like real
Yeah.
young Echo. I'm trying to think.
We haven't
Did
seen
Daredevil,
them
did that
during the
finish in 2013 or 2015? Because that's a big, like, it matters.
Did the show end there?
I was trying to figure out what year so it finished in 2015.
Oh wow. That can't be right.
That's what the internet says.
Is that right? Wild. It ended in 2015?
Oh no, sorry. First episode was 2015.
That makes more wait. Yeah,
Does it make more sense? I thought it came out in 2011.
it
Hold on.
it came out after the Avengers. The Avengers released in 2012. I know it aired at some point after
After that, so
Avengers.
it ran from April 10th, 2015 to October 19th, 2018. So 5 years after that is 2023, which is the year everyone came out of the blip. I think.
I don't know.
No. That's during the blip. Because everyone came out in 2024.
Yes. Okay.
Because the blip happened in 2019. Because that was like real years. But
yeah.
Okay, so that's interesting.
Yeah. So who knows?
Oh God, this makes everything more complicated. But anyway, Ironheart, June 24th. Don't believe it. Eyes of Wakanda, August 6th. Marvel Zombies, we've already talked about. Wonder Man, we've already talked about. So we are still in October. I'm going to go move a little faster. We don't have to talk about every single one.
Oh, yeah. That's a good point.
Nintendo has announced a Nintendo Music app.
We can skip that, yeah.
Marvel released 9 projects in 25. I'm feeling most of these are probably the exact same.
Yeah, and like it's so funny with Marvel releasing 9 projects next year, because I know this past year there's kind of like the pause in Marvel projects because they were like, hey, we want to emphasize quality over quantity, and then Kevin Feige announced like afterwards he was like, hey, we're gonna change it to like do like 2 movies and 3 shows a year, and that'll be it. And then like you quickly follow that up with like, hey, next year we're gonna release a ton because we have like a huge backlog of stuff already recorded. But after that, we'll switch to this new thing.
The next piece.
It is funny that like Armor Wars is still just gone. There's been no.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
And so did they. December 3rd, Star Wars Skeleton Crew will come out. That was 2 days ago. I will talk about that momentarily.
Yes.
Agatha All Along. Jack Schaefer says she wrote multiple end credit scenes for Agatha All Along. However, they were not used.
Yep. So,
which is something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think that matters too much.
Oh, there was a leak that got deleted from our message thread. So
what was it?
I don't know. It's just I can tell it was from like a leak account, and I just said grain of salt, etc., but I don't know what that was.
Remember what it was. Moon Knight season 2 has officially been canceled, which sucks. The story originally planned for season 2 got revamped into a theatrical film. Multiple directors have already given pitches to Kevin Feige. Fantastic. Just give me more Moon Knight. That's it. That's all I want. More Moon Knight.
Yeah, it's simple. It's one of the weird things where it came out and there was like no immediate follow-up, and I was like, yeah, this isn't gonna get
if they decided that they just wanted to give Oscar Isaac the suit, and a camera, and they just filmed whatever he wanted, I'd be okay with it. That's it. I don't care. Just give me something. Give me
Mhm.
Moon Knight.
Mhm.
And like one and at least 3 animators, because I have to animate
Yeah.
Khonshu somehow.
Mhm.
Star Wars episode 10 through 12 are in the works at Lucasfilm. Simon Kinberg has signed a deal to help develop the trilogy. Maybe this
That
happens, maybe it doesn't.
would be major, especially because they're apparently getting someone to develop the plans for the trilogy before making any individual movie, which is already a huge step over
Which they've never done before.
the sequel trilogy. Yeah.
Actually, they may have for the prequel trilogy,
They
but they
did.
didn't for the other 2 trilogies.
They did a plan for the prequel trilogy and then abandoned it because people didn't like episode 1.
That's
So they changed the plan after episode 1 came out. But they at least had a plan there.
clearly wasn't a good one. And they had a rough outline for the first 3 films, but just people always forget. Luke kissed his sister in episode was it 4 or 5?
It was episode 5.
So anyway, Andor season 2 will reportedly premiere on April 22nd, 2025.
Let's
Brennan,
go.
we should probably have more than 5 podcasts next year. With the sheer amount of content we're getting, we should probably have more than 5.
We shall see.
Kevin Feige says the MCU's output will
Oh,
be
there we
2
go.
films, 3 series a year moving forward. 2025 is the exception. James Gunn. No matter how far away we are from each other, no one will ever break us apart. Peacemaker season 2 debuts in 2025 on Max, and I believe that's a trailer. No, at least a teaser.
Yeah. It was a small snippet from like a trailer compilation, like the exact same thing that Marvel did, was just like for all the Max shows. Max just did one. So we got a little look at Peacemaker season 2. I'm so excited for that show. Season 1 was phenomenal.
Yep. Great music too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Fantastic music.
Mission Impossible. Basically, they just put out a date, and you sent me the trailer. May 23rd, 2025. Brennan, we know where you'll be there. We will know where you are that day.
Wait, I think you jumped over some stuff, unless you
I did not.
did that on purpose. I don't see the Mission Impossible one in my thread at all.
Well, that's weird. All right. First teaser for Andor season 2. We got looks good. No complaints. I'm prepared to be bored for 5 hours or for 9 hours. Look, I can appreciate that it was phenomenal. I just didn't like it. Hopefully, I like the next season. Speaking of Star Wars, what is this? A source familiar with Star Wars movies TV development process has said Star Wars is a nostalgia-based enterprise and they are running out of ways to create nostalgia. I don't know. That means something, maybe. News report, multiple films in development that overlap characters and timelines. They could impact others from happening. Rey is a key character in several of the films. Some Lucasfilms directors are show more, or don't show more. You know what? Forget I started speaking. Oh, there it is. Some Lucasfilm directors are aware of what others are working on, while others are not. The original trilogy is considered the Old Testament. You're being asked to create the New Testament, and no one can agree on anything, and there's a lot of second guessing about meetings. Another source of Star Wars is nostalgia. Oh, I just said that. And then the last 2, to make standalone movies or continuing the Skywalker saga in any form is a fundamental question to the company that faces as it tries to move forward. The TV side has a lot more freedom and is not facing these problems.
Yeah.
So that was all Star Wars reports.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was a lot.
Which explains why they're doing so much with series and not with
movies.
The movies here, because they just look like there are a lot more restrictions. The thing about Star Wars being like a nostalgia based enterprise, like I 100% agree that is what they're doing now, and it drives me crazy here because like they should know that Star Wars is the best when they're just like exploring more of the universe and the characters and not rehashing everything like with Andor. That moved it in a fantastic direction here. When you try to do just heavy nostalgia based stuff like the Book of Boba Fett, where they just crammed way too much stuff in there, it's like that's what they think
too much stuff want. Not called Boba Fett.
And yeah, that's what they're kind of that's what fans are kind of taking here, but it's like again in 20 years, no one's gonna really go back to the Book of Boba Fett, but they are gonna go back to the original Star Wars movies.
I mean,
So
20 minutes
they
into the Book of Boba Fett, I wouldn't go back to it.
so it's just like they just need to make more original kind of good quality stories in the Star Wars universe because those are going to be the ones that stand the test of time.
The best shows, and I don't mean most popular, and I don't mean the ones that keep getting updated, are the best stuff Star Wars has done so far. The Acolyte, Andor, the seasons 1 and 2 of Mandalorian. Nothing to do with the movies, except
Yeah.
Andor's the exception, but nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with the Skywalker saga.
Mhm.
It's all phenomenal.
Mhm.
And you could still kind of link it back to the movies. I mean, and then the stuff that did have to do with the Skywalker saga that was also pretty good. I mean, Kenobi was fine.
Yeah.
Ahsoka was good.
Yeah. Ahsoka was good. You had to know way too much before going
Yes,
into it.
absolutely. But and then again, the Bad Batch was phenomenal. So good. It has nothing to
The
do
Bad
with
Batch was so good.
it got moved away from the stuff that
Holy
did have to
crap.
do with
Yeah.
the Skywalker saga because that's where it started. They did start in the Clone
Yeah,
Wars,
and like
but
you can
they were
start with
able to
that,
make a
obviously.
fantastic show just with
Yeah.
these characters from a couple episodes.
Mhm,
Like you
mhm.
don't have to keep going back to that well. The stuff
Yeah.
that they've made that's the best is new stuff.
Mhm.
And that's why I love the books because they don't, there's some stuff with the Skywalkers in it, and some
Sure,
of it's
yeah. I
really
mean,
good.
you can do that no problem.
Not a problem. But the stuff that's the best is stuff that has nothing to do with them, like the Thrawn
Yeah.
series.
Yeah, it's like absolutely like throwing some references or whatever, but when you make it so dependent and so tied in to the Skywalker saga and like old characters and cameos and Easter eggs, when that's like the bulk of what you're making here, you just like you have to sacrifice quality.
Yeah.
There's
Yep.
no way around that. And like and that's what they're doing. They're just draining all of the nostalgia from that instead of trying to like add.
They need to learn from they need to learn from Marvel's mistakes. Marvel tried to do
Yeah.
that for the
Marvel's
entirety
making
of the
a ton of
pandemic.
them. Yeah.
They did that for all the shows during the pandemic, and it just didn't work.
Mhm,
So they got to learn from it. I think hopefully Skeleton Crew, which we'll get to in a minute, will
Okay.
teach them that. So,
Mhm.
I already talked about it no longer a Star Wars film in December. Peacemaker season 1 will be canon.
Oh,
Sorry, it's not.
and one other thing like about Star Wars here when they're
Okay.
talking about like multiple films being in development that like overlap characters and timelines here. The funniest thing in my mind is just like literally make all of them and have it be like the original stuff with Legends books where
Oh
there were
yeah,
just so many different Legends books and they all like uh
fuck each other up. Yeah.
all conflicted. It's like
Yep.
that's just when I think Star Wars was like in its prime truly when
Mhm.
like
Creative freedom. Just do
yeah
whatever. Yep.
basically here.
Who cares what everyone else is doing? Just do what you're doing and
Yeah.
thrive. Make this 18-book series that
Yeah.
sucks 5 books in.
And like if they need to be tied in later, you can find some kind
Do
of
it.
way to like tie all of that
Exactly.
together here. Yeah.
Next piece of news, James Gunn says all of Peacemaker season 1 is canon to the DCU except the Justice League appearance. And they said, and then went on to say, we will kind of deal with that in the next season.
Yes.
So do you think he pulls a Deadpool and moves them into an alternate reality somehow?
No, what I want to happen so bad is like in season 2, they're kind of like looking back and reflecting on the events of season 1, and like Peacemaker was like, yeah, we did all this, and then like the Justice League showed up, and everyone's like, what are you talking about? And like he's like, no, this is like what happened, and it's just like, and like what we saw in season 1 was like him just like embellishing events in his head. He was like that unreliable narrator phenomenon. I think that would be the funniest
unreliable
thing.
narrator, yeah.
Yeah, because that also is what James Gunn has said will kind of be the case with the Suicide Squad movie that like he made. It's like the events that happened there technically are canon, but the way they like happened, what we saw on screen isn't necessarily what took place. It's essentially the canon that we saw is like through the eyes of like the unreliable narrators of the Suicide Squad, which like
Interesting.
which I think is like the best way to do these like comic book movies and stuff. So you just can can kind of know and like understand the vague events of what happened. But like if you don't know the specifics, if you don't recall them, that's fine.
That's
Because
funny.
who's to say like what you saw on the screen is even what actually took place here?
That's good. I like that. I like that.
Hmm.
A mysterious Spider-Man logo appeared in Chelsea, New York. Fans were speculating a Beyond the Spider-Verse announcement. Did anything ever happen with that?
No,
Cool.
it was like some brand like partnership thing. They're announcing some like new kind of product.
Awesome.
Like I saw it, I was
Love
like,
it.
"There's no way that it's actually gonna be this. It would just be
No.
too obvious here." And
Yeah.
then no, and like I don't think anything with Beyond the Spider-Verse is happening anytime
Sony's not that creative.
soon. Yeah.
Especially
Oh.
not live action. Now, if they did that in an animated Chelsea, New York, absolutely.
Yeah.
New
Oh
look,
man.
new official look at Matt Murdock, Karen Page, and Foggy Nelson was posted to the Empire 2025 preview. And oh god,
It's
we are
so
so
good.
back, baby.
It's so good to see them all
We are
together.
so
They're
back.
smiling. They're happy. We get the Nelson, Murdoch, and Page sign above them.
Yes.
They're gonna have it. Oh, I am
Oh,
so
dude, I'm so excited. Oh, dude. Again, I've talked about this before. I can't remember her name, but the woman who plays Karen Page,
uh
criminally underrated.
Deborah Ann Wall.
Deborah Ann Wall, criminally underrated. She
Mhm,
should have gotten
mhm.
way more work between
Yeah.
now and the end of Daredevil. She's so good. And maybe she
Mhm,
did, and I
mhm,
just haven't been looking hard enough. But I need to look harder if that's the case. So
mhm.
phenomenal in that show. Um, Next piece of information: Daniel Craig is in talks to star as Sergeant Rock in a Sergeant Rock film for DC Studios. Luca Guadagnino will direct the film. Um, I don't know anything about Sergeant Rock.
I have no idea who
We
Sergeant
would need
Rock
our
is
resident DC expert
at
RJ
all.
in to explain, but
Yeah.
uh
But like
cool. I guess. I don't know.
Daniel Craig as just a a character in the new DC universe. Hey, sign me up.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And I think I mean he's had a couple movies, he's had Knives Out and stuff like that, but like he's still James Bond and maybe he wants to not be James Bond anymore, you know? So
Hmm, hmm.
good for him. The first trailer for James Gunn's Superman will be released in December. Whoa, I
We're getting
forgot about
close.
that. In
We're getting
December.
close. Yeah, I think I saw somewhere it was supposed to like
Tomorrow, maybe?
it was supposed to premiere when the live action Mufasa movie comes out, which I know is upcoming here. I don't remember exactly
I don't know
when
when
it
either.
uh
I can look.
releases.
That's what the internet's for.
It's either next week or the week after, I'm pretty sure.
Let me look. It
Um,
is
but that was the rumor that I saw.
December 19th.
Oh, okay, sweet.
So 2 weeks from now. Or 2 weeks from tomorrow.
Yeah, I I am I'm looking forward to that. Like this has to be a a a good movie, and like I trust James Gunn to like
Yeah.
have made a good Superman movie here.
Great
But like
cast, too.
but like if this is not a good movie, then like the entire future of DC for the next uh decade or whatever here is absolutely tanked. Because even if this is a flop and all the rest of the movies are good, they're not going to be able to recover.
Well, yeah, because I mean, this is the first one, right? This is the first movie in James Gunn's DC universe.
Yep, yep,
If
yep.
they don't hook people from the get-go, you're right, they're toast.
Hmm, hmm,
I have faith in James Gunn. He's been pretty good, and I like the cast a lot.
hmm.
So, um, cautious optimism, I guess, would be
Oh yeah.
what I have going into it. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Sony reportedly restarted the script for Beyond the Spider-Verse after Across the Spider-Verse was released. Studio reportedly still haven't decided on an ending.
That
So that's what the spider meant. The spider meant that because it wasn't lit up completely because they're still waiting
yeah,
for the
yeah.
end.
Yep, yep, yep. Like that is so upsetting, especially
So yeah,
when you release part one to a story, you don't know how
don't
it's
have
going to end
yeah.
yet. It's like that just seems like horrendous planning.
Especially in nowadays when like if that information gets out like
Yeah.
regardless.
And like
Back in the early 2000s and late 90s, that information doesn't get out, you're fine. But now
yeah.
it's out. People are like, okay, well, what the fuck's happening?
And the fact that they initially planned on having Beyond the Spider-Verse air a year after Across the Spider-Verse and now we're like, I think we're like what, like two and a
Almost two
half years
years.
out from that, and they still don't have an
I don't
ending.
I don't think it's quite 2 years. Oh, it might be because I think I saw that when I still lived back where I used to live.
Yep, same for me.
No, that came out in 23. Yeah, June 2nd, 23. So
So a
we're
year
a
and a
year and a
half
half
then. Okay.
removed from it,
Okay. Yeah.
and it hasn't happened yet. Like they don't have an ending.
Yep. Yep.
Tony, you're dropping the ball again. Not surprised, but isn't Craven supposed to come out at some point?
Yes. Craven releases in like a week and a half after getting delayed a year for no
For
reason.
literally no reason. Like we
Yeah.
had the movie.
And Regal changed how they do their tickets, and I'm kind of upset. And this is gonna make me like cancel Regal Unlimited and like uh a move away from it because they used to have, I don't know if it was a feature or a bug or like whatever it was. I would used to use it because like uh they're like the system allowed it. System didn't see a problem with it at all until I like showed my tickets. It wasn't a problem. But for a lot of movies that would come out, they had this neat feature where they would give you this like unlimited IMAX uh promo ticket where for Regal Unlimited members, instead of using your regular Regal Unlimited ticket, you could use this one that was a one-time use, and you wouldn't have to pay like the IMAX upcharge fee for your
Yeah.
regular unlimited pass, which is a free ticket for you to use
Nice.
if you went to see it by yourself here. But what you could also do instead is if you wanted to like to bring somebody else, you can still use your Regal Unlimited for yourself and then give them like the free like
Oh, nice,
free
nice.
IMAX pass. So like I could see an IMAX movie with both me and another person for $7 in total, and that was it. Seven
That's
dollars
not bad at all.
instead of like $55
The regular
or
movie isn't
something.
that much.
And huh?
A non-IMAX regular movie is not even that much.
Yeah, exactly. So it was phenomenal. So Lauren and I would go and see so many movies like anytime they would give us that promo,
Yeah.
which we did like 3 or 4 times. Saw a lot of superhero movies with that because they would give it to like a lot of DC movies and Sony movies and everything.
Right.
And for Craven was planning to do it for Craven, and they changed that. So now if you use the unlimited IMAX ticket, you can no longer also use your Regal Unlimited as well, which is probably how it was supposed to work the whole time. But it
Right.
never said that anywhere in any of the like the terms and conditions that like I read or whatever. It was just like, yeah, you like let me use both, and now it doesn't, and they're increasing the price again, and they keep increasing the price of the normal tickets anyway. I'm just like, it's too expensive to go to Regal. I don't know if that's true for other theaters or not, but like I have to cancel and move away from Regal Unlimited. It's like if I want to see a movie, I'll just
Hey, like
buy
yeah.
a ticket. I'll find the cheapest theater instead of continuing to give my business to Regal here.
Look,
And
dude, they're not that.
do
They're
that
like right
instead.
down the road from me. I can go beat them up for you if you want. I can go.
Huh?
I can go have.
Oh,
Some,
yeah.
I can go have a
Beat 'em up.
conversation with them. They're like not
Yeah,
that
yeah.
far away. I can
Oh
go
man.
punch them in the face. I can go punch the accounting department right in their face. I got you. I got you, Brennan.
And also,
Not soon workplace.
so yeah, I'm trying to like cancel Regal Unlimited now, but you can't do it in app. The only way to do it like is by emailing Regal and saying like, please cancel my subscription. And they take like 5 business days to respond or something. So
You could drive here to Alberta. You could drive here, go like and have them cancel it in person and drive back faster.
yeah,
You should do that, and we should hang out. But
yeah. I very well might have 2 more business days go by and I still don't have a response.
like, show up, dude. What?
Yeah. Mhm.
Cancel my account.
Yeah. And the funny thing is like they used to have like a customer service phone line, and they
Yeah.
technically still do, but you call and they're like, hey, we've deactivated our phone line, please email us. And that's all it says.
What is everyone a real an introvert?
Oh man.
Anyway, the new Lego Star Wars midi scale Home One Star Cruiser was revealed. It will be 69, nice 99,
Mhm.
559 pieces, and it will release on January 1st.
Yeah.
Brennan, this is more your kind of area of expertise.
Yeah.
Are you excited? You gonna get it? Like, what's the?
Yeah, I don't know why I sent that to you, other than I was just super excited that they were making another Home One Lego set, and I said, "Heck yeah, I'm so buying that."
Nice.
I
That's
love
pretty
like
cheap for a Lego set, actually. All
yeah,
things considered.
I mean yeah, because like I just love like these small ship lines here. Here's
Yeah,
one that I have like the character in the little stand here I added because I just had that. I wanted some way to like
that's
uh
actually pretty cool. Yeah,
to display them. But yeah, like it looks sick. So, like just a lot of the small ships I absolutely love.
yeah.
So when I saw they're actually continuing that line and doing like the Home One, I said, absolutely, I am buying that. So I'm just very
Nice.
excited, even though the the price is a lot higher than what it should be here. That should be like
It's not
at
bad though,
least
considering Legos.
10 or
They're
15 off. Yeah, like it's just yeah, Legos have gotten stupid expensive over the last like 5 years here. It's something that like I just keep seeing people talk about, especially like the normal non-branded, non-licensed Lego sets. Those have
right.
all stayed a fair price, but anything Star Wars or Marvel or DC or anything have shot up way higher than they've ever been. Like
Right.
to the extent where you can take like two near identical sets from like 10 years apart, even 5 years apart, and the price is often uh doubled, if not tripled.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
crazy. Next piece of news, which I'll just mention it. We'll get to it later. Two-episode premiere of Creature Commandos on December 5th, which is today.
Happened today.
Brennan did watch that, and we will get to that
Mhm.
here momentarily. Next piece, Tony Gilroy. Yeah, Tony Gilroy says he received no notes from Lucasfilms for Andor season 2. The critical approach of the show was really helpful, if not essential, in helping Disney choke down the price of what this is. So
Yeah. So,
only that's good, right?
yep. The critical appreciation, the fan reception, and like all of that just proved instrumental here. And like I do think it goes to show that like Disney or Star Wars or whatever like does listen to the fans like an extreme amount, which can be good, can also be very, 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 very bad.
I.e.,
Um
the Acolyte.
yeah. But like it's wild here because like normally studios give a lot of notes, they try to control, they try to nitpick, they try to make changes here. The fact that they just let the creative team do what they wanted with Andor season 2 gives me like a lot of hope.
Yeah. Yep.
A lot of
Yep.
hope.
Agreed. Hawkeye season 2 reportedly is happening. It is set to start filming in fall 2025.
That would be
That
epic.
that will hopefully be after Haley Steinfeld's wedding because she got engaged this past weekend
Yeah, I
to Josh
saw
Allen,
that.
and I am very jealous because she was supposed to be mine.
Um, did you see the tweet from like who was the guy who voiced Miles Morales, who is known for having like a huge
Oh yeah,
crush on her?
I do remember that. Yeah, I
Um,
did see that. I did see that. I saw that meme. Yeah.
yeah, there was something he tweeted out like immediately, like after the news broke.
Yeah, I
It
just
was, and then he like came out like an hour later and was like, I did not see that news before I tweeted that out. Like I promise you, but it was just such a
so well
funny
timed. Yeah.
coincidence that he was talking about like just like moving past challenges and continuing to like grow with his own life, whatever. Like right after that dropped, that was just art. But yeah,
But no, happy for
that's
her, of
wild. Yeah,
course. So they'll have to
yeah.
get married sometime in the summer because that's when Josh Allen's not playing football. So
Oh,
yeah,
gotcha. Yeah.
her fiance, he's a quarterback of the Buffalo
Sweet,
Bills. So
sweet. Yeah. So,
good for them. Hopefully, we get Hawkeye
congratulations
season
to
two.
her. Yeah.
New report. Oh, which is
Oh,
the Young Avengers thing we talked about earlier.
yep.
I'm not gonna rehash it.
Yeah, it's
No,
just it is funny that it says here in this leak that they're changing the name from Young Avengers to
to the
Champions
champions.
because
Yep.
none of the team is technically young now, and
Yes.
it's primarily because they waited so long. Um, but yeah, and then just news about Peacemaker season 2 having officially wrapped
Yep. Yep.
filming, and the next piece of news from James Gunn that the DCU will be different from the MCU because nothing will be greenlit before there's a finished script, which is just the funniest dig. And it's like, yeah, that's how it should work. That's how it should
Yeah.
be run. But like that gives me so much hope. That gives me so much hope for the DCU being like the standard
Yeah.
in moving forward.
Yeah. Dude, the late 2020 so this is gonna be a wild sentence. The late 2020s and the early 2030s are gonna be quite the watch between the Marvel versus DC kind of,
Mhm.
beef, because like one is hitting its hopefully hitting its prime, coming out with these great movies, these great shows. The other one's just kind of barely limping along after its prime's already kind of
Yeah,
done. Seeing
yeah.
if it'll go into its secondary prime or if it'll
Mhm.
ever spike back up again. So it's interesting, very
Yeah,
interesting.
we just have like the pendulum swinging back and forth here.
Yep, yep,
But yeah, then the other thing we talked about before here was just the news that Peacemaker season 1 will be canon except for the
yep,
Justice League cameo, and the Suicide Squad will be loosely canon.
yep, yep.
Um,
In the same vein, James Gunn
mhm.
had said they had plans for 3 spin-offs for Guardians of the Galaxy while he was at Marvel. There was a Ravagers series, a legendary Star-Lord project, and a Rocket and Groot project, all of
These,
which clearly never happened.
yeah,
However, would have been interesting.
yes, oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, the Rocket and Groot one I remember being talked about before because that was being uh talked about around the same time
Mhm.
as the Guardians of the Galaxy holidays
That's right. Yep.
special. But they ended up moving forward with that one.
Which I
They
need
did
to
not end
watch.
up moving forward with the Rocket and Groot
Yep.
project.
Yep. And then finally, James Gunn says he's contemplated bringing Robert Pattinson's Batman into DCU, but said, "But I'm not committed to both. But I'm committed to both telling stories in the DCU and Elseworld stories. I want freedom to tell the Elseworld stories." Now, this is
Which
somewhere
that's
I think,
fantastic. That makes me
yes,
want to stand up and like start clapping.
and I think that's something Marvel needs to learn from, and they kind of did with the Echo show because it's loosely canon and stuff like that. Or at least it's not connected to like the overall show or the overall
Yeah, it's kind
MCU
of because
timeline.
it's like a spin-off of a
Yeah, it's
spin-off of
spin-offs of
like
a
a
spin-off of a
yeah.
spin-off, but
Mhm.
Marvel, I mean, this, and it's kind of why it's hard to make comics into movies because there's just so much shit going on at the same time, like so many different people. Marvel could use something like that. They, just greenlight this project over here that doesn't matter to the whole story.
Mhm.
Like kind of, I guess Moon Knight kind of is like that, but they're somehow going to make it make sense. The
Kind
where was
of.
it? Werewolf by Night, the Halloween special.
Yeah, and it's
Fantastic. It has nothing to do with anything, but it was really good.
yeah, yeah.
And I guess kind of in the same vein, the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special or holiday special, same thing.
Yeah, it's
Kind
it's,
of doesn't
it's
really
like
have
but
anything to do with anything.
Marvel just needs like clear designators for that, and they've kind of
Yep.
started to with like Marvel Television
And the
or
Marvel
whatever the new
Voices
thing for
was it
like
called? Was what Echo was released under?
I,
I think.
I don't remember, and like they've changed it a couple of times here, but like I do love like the DC approach of like here's the DCU, here's Elseworlds,
Yep.
here's like clear labels for all that. I think that's so clever.
Mm-hmm.
It'll help out audiences a lot, and like I also love that like he's letting the Robert Pattinson's like Batman stand on its own because even
Yep.
though I want to see as much content like with him as possible
And
here,
in that
like
world, which is interesting, which we'll get to later with the
yeah,
Batman.
it but it's like he's absolutely right. Like that's fine on its own here. Let that continue to grow and be its own thing.
And I think,
Um, and Marvel might be starting to do that now with Fantastic Four, for example, because
yep,
Fantastic Four will finally be the first project that does not take place on Earth 616,
on
quote
purpose.
unquote.
On purpose, because like they had all the other stuff from like the before MCU
Yeah,
that
yeah.
I've incorporated into the MCU, but
Yeah, but this will be the first thing that's like an MCU project that doesn't take place in the MCU, even though I know there's gonna be some post credits tie-in and then they'll
yeah.
come in for Secret Wars or Doomsday or whatever. But
And
yeah.
it's something that I think they could have benefited from with with what they did in Phase or tried to do in Phase 4 with
Mhm.
Doctor Strange and stuff like that. Because I think DC also has someone has a multiverse as well,
Oh yeah. They have
and
a big
a huge
multiverse.
multiverse. And I think having these Elseworlds projects can kind of set all that in motion a little bit. But they could do it
Absolutely.
way further down the line. It doesn't have to be right now. It doesn't have to be leading up to this big thing. It could just
Mhm.
kind of happen later. If they decide to do something with the Flash, or they decide to do something with Superman.
Yeah.
It's something for later that they could
Mhm.
use, but they don't have to, because it's just other stuff that DC is just doing. And
Mhm.
I think it's good. It's really, really good that he's setting that standard now,
Mhm.
instead of waiting like Marvel has, where it's like,
Absolutely.
now we're gonna start doing stuff when it probably behooved us to do it right
Yeah.
after or even during in the Infinity Saga. So
Yeah. Uh, James Gunn is doing the one thing that Marvel and Star Wars cannot comprehend, and that's called planning
make a movie.
ahead.
Oh,
Yeah, and making a movie.
hold on, he made Ironheart.
Uh,
Okay, so from my understanding, we did not get to the end of Agatha. We can
no,
quickly touch
we
on
did
that,
not. Yep.
and then we can quickly touch on the other shows. Or do you want to do that first and then do Agatha?
No, we can start with Agatha here.
Okay,
I'm absolutely down with that because
cool, because it is alphabetically correct.
yes, and all I really want to say for Agatha is such a good show.
Such a good show. It was fantastic.
Such a good show. Like
It ended
you
beautifully. It
could
was so good.
yeah, you could tell it was made by people who cared and also
Yep.
had a story in mind that they wanted to tell.
I
A
think.
lot of practical effects, a
Oh yeah.
lot of cool set pieces, a lot of good um metaphor and symbolism and all that. It's one of the shows that like as things would go on, I'd look back at earlier episodes and be like, oh, that makes
Yeah.
more sense now, and like a good way. Even though I thought the start, it's it's one of the shows where it's like my first experience watching it through was not as good as it could have been here.
Right.
But then, like, once I knew everything, going back and rewatching it, seeing how they were kind of slowly setting all that up made it like it just made so much sense. Like the fact that he made the road himself,
Yep.
Reckon,
Mm-hmm.
the fact that he made the road did not exist. He made it in the way that Wanda had made everything
Westview.
in
Yep.
Westview happen here. Like that was such a good twist and it explained Agatha's behavior so well. Things were like, why is Agatha acting like that? Why is she saying these things? That was why. And it was just this like it was this fantastic moment where although there weren't as many clues for the audience to pick up on things like right off the bat here, it's just like it it makes you want to go back and rewatch the show from the start.
Yeah, the rewatchability is definitely there, and I
Yeah,
think if
and
I
so
would be
many
really
Marvel
interested.
shows. Oh, sorry. I was gonna say so many Marvel shows lack that rewatchability
Yep, I
quality.
agree. I think it'd be interesting to go back and rewatch back to back WandaVision and Agatha All Along, just
Yeah.
to kind of see, because like they're connected,
Hmm.
and I think this is also, for the first time this is the first time a show hasn't been connected to another movie.
Yeah,
So it's
I
just
think you're
this
right.
is this spawned out of
No,
Marvel TV or Marvel's TV show. What?
Echo.
Oh, you're right. You're right. So this is the second time, but that was, Echo was good. It's a good show.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mostly Forgettable didn't have the rewatchability that Agatha All Along has, I think.
Hmm.
Aubrey Plaza,
It's
fantastic
still
death.
solid.
Fantastic. Like as Death, she's fantastic.
Mhm.
And like I think it did something that again the other Marvel shows haven't done very well. It wrapped up a story very well,
Yeah.
but also left it open.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
it's not just leaving it open, but it wrapped
So
up the story and also left it open.
it did what TV seasons are supposed to do.
Yes, yes, it wrapped it up in a nice, tiny little, nice little Christmas bow.
Mhm.
After the Halloween season, and it left it open for also more. You
Yes.
know, it didn't just like leave us on a cliffhanger like Loki season 1 did,
Hmm. Yep.
and
Yep.
it didn't like just end randomly like all the other Marvel shows have. It
Yeah.
actually like set it up. It's
Mhm.
kind of like the way Moon Knight ended. Moon Knight wrapped up the show really well, but also left it open for more.
Mhm.
So very good job. Probably one of the best Marvel shows so far, in my
Yes.
opinion.
Yeah.
So, um,
And yeah, and it looks like they might be getting greenlit for a season two, and
oh,
I hope that's
I thought
true.
Agatha died.
Huh?
Did
Yes.
Agatha not die? Yeah. Okay.
No.
Oh, that's right. She came back as the ghost.
You know, yeah. Yep. It looks like they might be getting greenlit for season two. I know the director had said he wanted to do a other show where Wiccan tries to find
Yep, that's right.
his brother, which that news broke like before episode three aired.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
it kind of spoiled a good bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but uh yeah, like if they are doing Agatha All Along season two, that would work perfectly for that. I don't know if like the name is still apt unless they like include an arc from her where maybe like
Well,
her son like comes back as a character and there's some kind of uh relationship there. But like I want to see this show continue because I feel like this is Marvel's first chance to have a show like organically continue on its own
mm,
because of how good the show was and the fact that the fan demand is there for it. Because
yeah.
I feel for a lot of their other shows, if they do have a season two, it's because they planned for that off the
Low key.
bat
Yeah.
and they weren't ready to like
And Daredevil.
hear and get guidance from like the fans on what they liked or didn't like. This would be the first time that like that's actually taken place.
Right. Well, well, my last two things I have to say. The name Agatha all along it's weirdly both apt for the show and not because it was actually Billy all along.
Yeah, right.
But and then this is the first time in a while that Disney, Star Wars or Marvel has done a flashback so beautifully with the Agatha flashback
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
beautifully that the Witch's Road was Agatha all along.
Yeah. Oh, yep, yep. Bam.
So that's where it's at, but it's not apt because it was Billy the entire time making the Witch's Road. Um, but like I said, that flashback was done so well, and they have just had a track record of not doing that. Like whether it be Book
Yeah.
of Boba Fett and this is Disney, not just Marvel or Star Wars, but whether it be Book of Boba Fett or quite frankly any other third episode flashback we always get.
Yeah.
Phenomenally done
Yeah.
television show. And then the second thing I was gonna say, which I've already forgotten, so it doesn't matter.
It, and the other thing that I'll add as well is like I think this is the first Marvel project besides uh Eternals that just let like LGBTQ plus characters exist and like do
Yes.
their own thing
Yep.
and didn't try to like hide that or disguise that or just hint at that without showing anything. It
Yep.
just felt very natural and real and grounded.
Yep. Yep. Agreed. And actually, and they've already set up Hulkling, who in the comics is Wiccan's husband. I think they're married in the comics.
Oh, okay, sweet.
I don't know. I didn't get that far into the Guardians of the Galaxy when I was reading, so it's been a while since I've read comics. But
I don't know if they've set up Hulkling or not.
I think they did at the end of She-Hulk, which again everyone's probably forgotten about
Yeah,
She-Hulk.
that was actually a different character, I think, from what
Was
I
it?
saw. Yeah,
Okay.
like it's like another like Hulk child character, but it's not
Okay.
like
Not Hulkling. Okay.
Hulkling.
Gotcha.
I'm pretty sure,
I
but
don't know. Who
also
knows?
it's like the MCU, so like they can always change canon however
Yeah. Yeah.
they want to change it here. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Basically. Just like how they've allowed everything. Oh, that wasn't canon. Oh, except it is now canon.
And
It's
like,
canon.
who knows if anything from She-Hulk is ever gonna come back in like
Daredevil's coming
the
back,
MCU or not here? Yeah, Daredevil's gonna come back. That's gonna be awesome.
which is coming back before She-Hulk.
Yeah, yeah. It's cool. Like Marvel didn't have any plans for all the characters that they're introducing.
Nope, not a one.
Mhm.
So, whatever. Did you want to talk about Creature Commandos?
Sure, yeah. I'll just talk about it very briefly here. James Gunn has done it again for the fourth time in a row. He's made another Guardians of the Galaxy. He made the Guardians of the Galaxy, then he made the Suicide Squad, which is basically just the Guardians of the Galaxy, and then he made Peacemaker. That whole team was just Guardians of the Galaxy, and now he's done it for a fourth time. So,
Really good at
he,
making misfit
yeah,
bad people teams that are
yeah,
good.
he cannot be stopped. He is undefeated. So far, it's uh pretty solid. It's just a cartoon that can get away with a lot of shenanigans with violence and
I thought
sex
you were
and
gonna say shit. I
language
was like,
and
oh
like all
no,
that.
Brennan.
Huh?
I thought you were gonna say shit, and I'm like, oh no,
Oh,
Brennan. I was the reason this is an explicit
uh,
show, not you.
the shenanigans is a lot more of a Brennan word, I'll call it here.
Okay.
Um,
Is it like a
but
rated? Is it like a rated MA or is it
yeah.
what is it? It is okay.
Yep. So yes, so far it looks pretty promising. It's one of the shows that takes place after Peacemaker season one, after the Suicide Squad, but it's not one that makes you feel like you've missed out on something. It
Okay.
tells you everything you need to know from those shows,
Yeah.
and you are off to the races.
Nice.
So and it's also doing like a lot for world building already because it's kind of weird now knowing the direction DC is moving into because all
Yeah.
of a sudden all the little references in the background to like other superpowered characters
Yeah.
or like other locations I know from like the comic books and like other shows. I'm like, wait a minute, this could all come into play now. So it's
It,
really interesting to try to like catch all of that while
yeah.
it's happening.
It's interesting how quickly he was able to turn this around because he was one of the first shows that he announced when they announced he was taking over the DCU.
Yeah.
And that was less. That was less than 2 years ago, because I had moved out of the town that you currently live in. I used to live in, and
hmm
I was at my old apartment. So
hmm
that happened less than 2 years ago. They turned this around quickly.
Yeah.
And the quality's good and everything. Like the animation's all good and stuff.
It's so funny because like he had a script and a plan for this show all ready to go, and he had actually submitted it to DC with just the hope that it would be greenlit,
Uh-huh.
and then he was put in charge of DC. So like legitimately, he was like, yeah, one of the first things I did was I greenlit my own show, and
Like,
that's
this show
just
is so good. You're in charge of greenlighting.
fantastic. Yeah. Because he
That's
turned it
awesome.
in when like he was not in charge and he was put in charge. He was like, well, I guess I'm just gonna greenlight my own show now. And it's like I'm just so glad that like he has the creative freedom to
Mhm.
like let his projects like this shine and like continue to like give opportunities for other projects to shine that like in another world may not have gotten made at all. Like the things that are
Yeah.
upcoming, like we have uh Lanterns, which I know has been greenlit.
That's
It's
right. Yeah.
been cast. Filming is going to start soon. We have Supergirl, which I'm really looking forward to.
Yep.
And like the more successes, the more wins that they have,
Mhm.
like the more they can do in the long run with uh just continuing to greenlight uh projects for characters that otherwise may not have gotten made at all. Like I know there's already talk of a live action uh Teen Titans movie, which
Oh
if
wow.
they could do that well would be phenomenal. They're talking about bringing Blue Beetle back,
I
making
love
him
that
like
movie. I watched it on the plane back from China. It was a great movie.
Yeah, and just the fact that like that movie was just gonna be a one and done. It looked like that was gonna be it, and like now he can stick around. It's just like
Mhm.
I'm really looking forward to like everything that this means. One other show I'll talk about briefly here
Yep.
is The Penguin,
Yep.
because that
Which
aired
I've heard nothing but good things about.
recently. Yeah, Lauren and I ended up watching all of that. We started a bit late. We didn't
Yep.
see the last episode until like it had already been out for like 3 weeks or something like that,
Mhm.
and it was phenomenal.
Yep.
Like that's how you do a like a villain project, whether it's a movie or show or whatever. Sony needs to watch The Penguin and learn because they try to do so many projects for villains and they just make them the hero in each one. And like all throughout The Penguin, you're like, he is not the good guy at all, but you're still like kind of rooting for him, kind of on his side, but also kind of wanting to see like his downfall happen here. And it's just like holy crap. They did such a good job on that show, and it got me so excited for the Batman Part 2.
Nice.
Hmm.
Yeah, because that's right. Because it's in that universe. And
Yeah, it, it
I'll have to get Max again and watch it because I've heard nothing but good things about it.
um do you care about like a small like spoiler from
Go
it?
right ahead, my
It's
friend.
not
I will not remember.
okay, okay. It's just it's really cool because you watch the whole thing and it's almost really easy to forget that it's like a superhero uh
Right. Yeah.
project at all. But it's like there's one shot at like the end of the movie and then it just fades out and you see the skyline and then just like right before it cuts to the credits up in the sky like the bat signal turns on and it's such I was like that is just so cool. I was like because there's no reference to Batman basically the entire show and at the very end you're just reminded for an instant that like he's there, he's around, and it was just such a cool shot.
That's awesome. That's so cool.
um so
Nice.
yeah, it's I I'm game for any other projects that like they want to make there. It's like, yeah, put that underneath the Elseworlds umbrella, absolutely, and let's just see what all we can get out of this here.
So, did the Robert Pattinson Batman come out before or after we found out James Gunn was in charge? I think it
It
was before.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
I watched it
It,
back in our shared hometown, which
yeah,
I've referenced a lot today, but have not given away where it is. In
it's in
northern
Canada.
Alberta,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Calgary.
yeah. It came out before either like 6 months or a year before it was announced that James Gunn was
Gotcha,
taking over. I'm
gotcha.
pretty sure.
Well, and at the very least, he's gone what, one, two, three, potentially four hits already with
Yeah.
Suicide Squad, The Penguin, and oh my God, what was the other one? Oh, Peacemaker, and then
Yes. Yes.
potentially Creature Commandos.
Yep.
Hey, he's looking good so far.
Yep.
Um, so on to what I watched. I watched Skeleton Crew.
Yes.
First two episodes came out Tuesday,
Mhm.
but I have been busy since because I'd have a 50-minute drive to work now.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so I just like don't do much anymore because I get home and I want to go to sleep. um, but anyway, first episode. So not much has happened so far
Mhm.
in the series, but it's interesting. And this is like not really even a spoiler. The first episode opens up, or the second scene opens up, and it's just like a regular old neighborhood in Star Wars, but like obviously with like the futuristic parts of Star Wars, but it's like
Sure. Yeah.
suburbia in Star Wars. It's just like so. It's like an interesting way to start it.
I've seen the trailer here. I remember
Okay, yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
shot, and
That's right.
everyone on like Twitter or whatever was like, "Wait, can Star Wars uh do that? Is this something that Star Wars can have?"
Yeah, well, it's just interesting because I'm like, well, yeah, I guess that probably exists on a
Yeah.
planet or two.
Mhm.
Suburbia. I guess they're not all gigantic cities like Coruscant, just city planets like Coruscant.
Mhm.
So that was interesting to see. Um, And the first episode is basically them just finding the spaceship and blasting off, which I believe was in a trailer.
I think so, yeah.
The second episode, I didn't see anything that was in the trailer, but it was
Oh, wow.
or nothing from the trailer. I don't think, at least nothing like major. But they go to a planet. They're surprised at what planet they're on. Someone gets shot, and then they end up in jail. So,
Oh, wow.
we'll you'll have to watch and find out. It's good so far. It's good. It's cute. It's
Like, what are the vibes so far? Is it more of like a cozy vibe, or like an adventuring vibe, or like a
so it
scary
started cozy
vibe?
for sure,
Huh?
and then
Yeah?
quickly
Okay.
it actually kind of the second episode kind of feels a little Pirate of the Caribbean-ish. Like, I'm not gonna
Ooh.
lie, it is a
Okay.
little piratey. So
Interesting.
I mean, it makes sense. It's pirate themed, I guess.
Sure, yeah.
Space pirates. Oh no, you know what? It's got the theme. God, what's that movie? What's that Disney movie from the early 2000s? Not Atlantis, the other one.
Treasure Planet?
Treasure Planet. It's got Treasure Planet vibes.
Sweet. Sweet.
So it's good so far. I like it.
Cool.
Definitely more family oriented, I think. But you know, it's Star Wars.
Okay.
It's how it originally started, technically.
Yeah.
So, good start. And I don't think it takes place. Oh, no, I take it back. It does take place. Supposedly takes place after episode 9. But with like the intro, I was like, well, no, maybe it doesn't. But something we have to remember is that the First Order didn't take over the galaxy like the Empire did. Right?
What do you mean?
Like, it didn't like take over everything. I think it just took over like a small quadrant of the galaxy.
Yeah, it's something where like the
not
First
as major.
Yeah, the First Order kind of just formed or whatever, and they were like, "We're in charge now." But
yeah, but like
I don't know
like,
what they.
No, you're not.
did.
Yeah. And then like the rest of the galaxy just kind of went about their business, except there's one really intense
something like that
group of ships, which turned into one ship, which also exploded partially. Anyway, enough of that. But no, it's good. I like it so far.
Cool.
I'm very excited for the rest of it. I don't know how many episodes it is though.
I think I saw somewhere it's supposed to be
7. 7 feels right, but I don't know.
It's supposed to be more than 6 is the only thing I remember, but I don't know what that means.
It means absolutely nothing, to be honest. Where's the schedule? Oh, Space Goonies. That's also kind of what it feels like.
Yep.
8 episodes. So last episode, January 14th. So.
Oh wow. Okay.
How many episodes is Creature Commandos supposed to be?
I think also 8.
Let's see.
Or maybe 7.
How long were the episodes? Like 30 minutes?
Yeah.
7 episodes.
About half an hour. Okay, cool.
The next episode is going to be called Cheers to the Tin Man. And episode 4 is going to be called Chasing Squirrels.
Very nice.
So, anything else? I saw Wicked last week. I don't know if you've seen that.
Nice.
You used to do theater.
I've not seen that. Like, it's so weird because I was so involved in music theater. There have been so many shows I've seen, and I don't know anything about Wicked at all.
Well, so. The movie was great. I saw the show years ago with my mom. I took my mom to see the movie because it's like her favorite, her favorite play. So
nice.
She really enjoyed it, and that's all that really matters. And I enjoyed it too. So
I probably will go to see it prior to my Regal Unlimited.
I was saying get that in before killing Regal.
Yeah, if it does expire, maybe they won't. Let me
well,
leave.
if they don't, you have an excuse to come here and hang out.
Yep.
And also, we'll go beat them up.
Yep.
I get out of work at 3:30 now, so I'll be back here by 4:30. We go beat them up.
Very nice.
There we go.
Very
so
nice.
I know where they live. Anything else? Any other movies? Any other entertainment you've partaken in?
I think that's just about it for me for right now.
All right, me too. Well, then I've wanted to see The Wild Robot, but I still haven't seen it.
Oh, that was a good movie here. I like that one.
Yeah, I need to see it because I read the book and I really like the book.
So. Oh, nice.
So that's it for this one. If you like it, give us a like wherever you are. If you really, really liked it, subscribe on whatever podcast you listen thing you're listening to this to. If you want to see more of me, subscribe to me on WolfGator Entertainment. If you want to see more of Brennan,
More of me?
too bad. He has a
Too bad,
YouTube
so
channel.
sad.
You can subscribe to it, but he'll never put anything on there again.
I'll have a movie coming out in like 2 years. I
Yeah.
promise.
Go subscribe at Not Brennan, but today he's not Zoom Workplace.
I'm not Zoom Workplace.
I'm Wally. That's Brennan. Peace.
Peace.